What's going on, everyone? So Al Horford was a target that the Los Angeles Lakers wanted. They were one of the teams that were interested. Handful of teams are interested in Al Horford. You got teams like Atlanta, the Golden State Warriors, the Los Angeles Lakers, right? You got several teams that are like, hey, bring in Al Horford, gives you that stable veteran, gives you a guy that you know you can trust on, rely on, play the 4, play the 5, just gives you versatility out there. He's still a really good defensive player, believe it or not, right? Even at his age, a guy that can spread the floor, knock down the 3 ball, you run some various actions with him, pick and pop, pick and roll action, right? He's a guy that, again, you can trust. You can throw out there in big, crucial moments. He's not afraid of the moment. He's hit some huge shots over his career. He's so impactful in that Boston Celtics championship run. Boston would still like to keep him, but Boston's probably going to be in a hiatus year. And so Al Horford going somewhere else where he feels like he might have a better chance to win a championship, play a key role, but also he's considering retirement. Right? It's kind of been one of those things. Right? Originally, the reports were like it was the Lakers, the Warriors, or retirement. Like that was kind of the 3 things that he's weighing. And we were supposed to already have an answer. Per reports, the Golden State Warriors thought that they were going to get an answer last week, and they thought the answer was going to be him signing with the Warriors, and that hasn't happened yet. Right? So obviously Al Horford is still kind of weighing his options and looking at like, okay, what does he want to do? Part of it could be, what if he really does want to go to Lakers? Then he would have to wait for the Lakers to clear. I mean, they could technically just waive Shake Milton and then bring in Al Horford, but Lakers are trying to kind of, per reports, looking for consolidation trades and stuff like that, trying to explore various avenues. So the Lakers might want to kind of get all that stuff done first. Once they get all that stuff done first, then they start signing guys, right? Bringing in Al Horford. If Bradley Beal gets bought out and he wants to come down, you bring in a Bradley Beal because it's like, okay, we've cleared the biannual exception money. We've cleared, 2-3 roster spots, waiving Shake Milton, right? And then boom, now you could bring in like an Al Horford, a Bradley Beal, and a D'Anthony Melton or something like that, right? Like that would be kind of the flexibility that the Lakers, I would imagine, are probably looking for. But again, time will tell. Time will see. So as far as Al Horford goes, there doesn't seem to be like an exact word on when he's expected to sign. Atlanta is one of the new teams that have emerged that really want him and look at him as kind of in that 8-man rotation. He's familiar with Atlanta, right? Played with Atlanta back in his heyday. He is 39 years old. He just turned 39. So you got to imagine if you're Al Horford, you're like, okay, I got so many years left. And he might look at a team like the Atlanta Hawks and go like, hey, they're a good, young, exciting team that's in this like wide open Eastern Conference. Right? Maybe that is the best place for me to go. And we can kind of have an Indiana type run, get into an NBA finals and maybe win it. Right? Like, I mean, Atlanta had an Indiana type. They didn't get to the finals, but they got to the conference finals. Right? They went on an Indiana run a couple years back. Right? So, maybe Al Horford's considering that again, and maybe that's what's thrown a wrench in it. But it seemed like the Warriors, all the reports were like, hey, he's going to the Warriors. The Warriors expected him to sign and come to the Warriors. And now it's wide open and Warriors are like, hey, we don't know what's going to happen. And the Lakers are still apparently in the mix. That Al Horford is still kind of weighing his options with even the Lakers. I would personally love Al Horford. Right, you got guys like Rashawn Holmes, who just got bought out. There's talks about Nikola Vucevic, who may end up getting bought out. Chicago's having a hard time finding a trade suitor for him. Chicago kind of botched that situation, right? They were just, they wanted like multiple firsts, and then it went down to a first, and it's like, dude, no one's giving a first for him, and now nobody wants him. Now nobody needs him, so they might be stuck and look to buy him out because he wants to go to a contender. So to me, I would prefer Al Horford or Nikola Vucevic, ideally, if with the unknown of Nikola Vucevic, I'd get Al Horford now if you can, right? Like, and that could be another thing. Like, maybe Al Horford is waiting for the Lakers to finish doing what they need to do so that way he can sign with them. That could very well be a reason. But I really like the idea of Al Horford because I want a stable vet, right? Like, you got DeAndre Ayton, who's going to be your starter and going to be the guy playing, 30 minutes a night, at least, right? And then you have Jackson Hayes. I like Jackson Hayes, but I like Jackson Hayes in that third big limited minute role, right? Where he's getting 15 minutes a night type thing, 10 to 15 minutes, high energy, high effort, coming in, slotting in, just being that hustle energy guy, being that lob threat for the Lakers. On any given night, a random night, hey, Ayton gets the night off or he's dealing with a nagging injury, he's going to miss the next 3 games, nothing major, right? Something like that where, hey, Jackson Hayes, you're going to start for us these next 3 games. Like, fine. I'm okay with that. Come playoff time, though, I want him back into that like 10-minute a game role. So I'd like to get a guy like an Al Horford that, again, just gives you that stability, gives you a guy that you can trust and rely on. Once you get to the playoffs, you're probably playing DeAndre Ayton, 35 minutes a night, right? Or maybe even 40 minutes a night. But I still would like that guy. And a guy in Al Horford can slot in either spot. So you can play DeAndre Ayton and Al Horford together. You can play Jackson Hayes and Al Horford together. Right? Like you can do those things even more so than like a Nikola Vucevic. Right? If you could get if it was between Al Horford and Vu, if Vu gets bought out, I'd rather have Al Horford because he gives you a lot of the same stuff. He's not the playmaker that Vu is, but he still can make plays in the post. You can still dump the ball on him. He's going to make good decisions. But I like Al Horford for just his toughness and just the defensive impact that he has. I mean, he's a guy that, like, he was huge for Boston. Like, he was their defensive anchor in a lot of ways for them and was excellent. Even last year, he was very good defensively. He's just that old, he's got that old man strength for basketball standards. He's a guy that can just do so much out there. He makes winning plays. He knows his role. He plays his role brilliantly. He's a guy that you get so much offensive versatility with. Right? He's not a guy you want chasing around out on the perimeter, but we've seen him switch on guards and hold his own. We've seen him be that rim protector. We've seen him kind of do the dirty work, and he's a guy that I think could just bring a lot to this Lakers team and really impact the team in a positive manner, which is what you need, right? Like, I don't think like Al Horford, it's like, that's it, Lakers best team in basketball, but I think it's a step in that direction, right? To me, how do Lakers get to contention status, right? Like, how do they, it's the accumulation of things, right? Like, Luka Doncic, right? So you're here, Luka Doncic, motivated, healthy, hungry, ready to give the league the bird, right? Now you bring in DeAndre Ayton, right? Ideal center alongside of him. Jake LaRavia, right? Bradley Beal, Al Horford, so on and so forth, right? You start, all of a sudden you start stacking these things, make a trade for, whatever, an Andrew Wiggins or something. I know that the reports Lakers are out on Andrew Wiggins, but Lakers said that about several guys, and then it ended up trading for him. So again, like, you see those type of incremental type moves that now put you into contention status. Now the Lakers, all those components come together. We're probably not going to know if the Lakers are truly a contender or not until we get to the regular season. Right? Because again, there's a lot of questions about this team. This team could be one of the 3 best teams all in basketball. Right? There is a version of this where Luka is just terrorizing the league. Luka and LeBron are playing excellent off of each other. DeAndre Ayton is just the perfect fit. He's bought in defensively. He's bought in offensively. Right? You got Jake LaRavia knocking down threes and being a 3-and-D guy. Rui doing what he does. Austin Reeves doing what he does and filling in a pinch when somebody needs the night off and helping lead us games. Get, the bench steps up. We get a Bradley Beal or something. Boom. Now you solve your offense off the bench. And then you get an Al Horford and boom. Now all these things start culminating together. And it's like, okay, Lakers might do this thing this year, right? Like, those, we won't know until we actually get there, right? But I do think Al Horford is just that, he's one of those guys you can't go wrong with, right? Like, he's one of those guys that, like, if he's coming to the Lakers, he's stabilizing that bench. He's going to be one of those guys that's in your 8-man rotation come playoff time. He's going to be one of those guys that can win you games through these small little nuanced differences, right? He's a guy that's going to win you games, like just making the winning play that you can, minute left, tie game in a game 7. Throw Al Horford out there, right? Like, he's going to make the plays. He's going to hit the shot. He's going to play the defense. He's going to impact that game in a positive way. Like, those are the kind of guys I want to see the Lakers at, right? So Al Horford is definitely one of those guys. And again, he's coming off a great year. Now he isn't a true 7-footer. He's 6'9" with 7'1" wingspan. Right, but he's a guy that, again, is just very crafty, very skilled. You look at last year, 60 games played, 42 games started, averaged 27.7 minutes per game, 7.7 field goal attempts per game, shot 42.3% total from the floor, shot 36.3% on 5 attempts from three-point range. The last 2 years in Boston, he was 42% and almost 45% on 4 attempts and 5.2 attempts. So if he get back into the 40s, that'd be beautiful, right? Especially saw it alongside Luka and LeBron James, right? The quality of looks that he's going to get are just going to be otherworldly, right? Even more so than when he was on Boston, right? So 2-point range, 2.5 attempts was 55.1% from the floor. EFG of 54.7%. Free throw shooting, 89.5%. He is a good free throw shooter. He's a career 76% guy on 2 attempts. He was 89.5 last year and then 86.7 the previous year. Although doesn't take a lot of twos or doesn't take a lot of free throws. The most he took was actually last year in the last 3 years, which was 0.6. Last time he took more than that was his first, after he came from OKC back to Boston, was 1.4. But he was 84.2% there. Rebounding, 6.2 rebounds, including 1.5 offensive rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, we'll round up to a steal, 0.6 steals, a block, and 9 points per game. So he's basically a 9 and 6 guy with a steal and a block per game. But again, he's just that savvy vet that you can come in, plug in, understands his role, is going to play it beautifully. He's the kind of guy that I want to see on the Lakers if the Lakers can get him. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.